What's up, guys? This is OJ Light. Still a little bit under the weather, but I gotta get going on these vlogs. So I'm a big fan of Noel Deschanel. He's a fitness influencer. I'll tag him in this video, just so you know who I'm talking about. And he was talking about a video of a fitness influencer who's promoting gambling on his channel, right? And this kind of struck home for me a little bit, because I live in the state of Illinois, and in Illinois you can gamble in gas stations, you can gamble at like fast food restaurants. It's just liquor stores. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, and they always seem to put them. Like, let me give you an example. There's this gas station. There's this gas station I go to sometimes for certain business trips, and it's literally next to a trailer park, and you can see people walking from the trailer park to the gas station to gamble. Right? I've seen it multiple times, and it kind of disturbs me because I think I think these people are probably the least have the least amount of money that they could be spending on stuff like this, right? And they're probably blowing more money on it than is economically feasible for them to sustain. And I just think it's, man, I just think it's oof, I don't know. I just think it's like shitbag corporatism. I don't know how else to describe it. And it really kind of goes to my what I've been seeing. Like I formulated over the last few years that in America, at least, or at least in my state of Illinois, man, the addiction is running wild. And just, I'm not even talking about drug addiction. I'm just mean like, if there's a way for the government to tax it, they get you addicted to it. Like in my 20s, I never really thought much about like cigarettes or alcohol. I just thought, that's just something like, everyone drinks. I mean, I never smoked, but a lot of my friends smoked. It was just an old part of life. But when I got to my 30s, I kind of came to the conclusion the government, this is my perception, they want you to smoke. They want you to drink. Because the taxes are so, like, lucrative for them, right? Like, we got marijuana legal now in this state. They tax that. We got gambling everywhere in this state. They tax that. And they also, if this is kind of a weird thing. There's always a big push to have a new vehicle, like a good car and a house, right? And I think, at first I thought that was people like looking out for you, but I kind of come to the conclusion, because so much money is brought in from taxes those two ways, I almost wonder if that's like set up by design. You get what I mean? I like the reason your parents want you to have a home is because long ago the government made this a cultural norm because of the taxes. That might not be true. That's a little conspiracy theory, a little too much. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a document that came out that said, no, that was the goal, like in the 70s, right? I wouldn't be surprised. Because like I said, I just noticed that everything that's somewhat reasonable is run by the government here, and it's taxed, which kind of blows my mind that the state I am in is so fucking broke, man. I mean, always hearing about deficits in Illinois, always hearing about like funding problems, and man, we tax. I'm telling you guys, we tax. I'm waiting for them to start taxing the tax. Like, well, because you paid, for every 300,000, 3,000 you pay in tax, we're gonna add another $30 on. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. But so, it just kind of, like I said, it really struck home for me because I see it all the time here on that video. The other thing, sorry, I'm making a turn here. Where they at? And then, you know, I read the comment section after this video. That's where I was going. And one of the comments that was made, it kind of got my attention, was like fitness attracts young men, like, you know, 18, like mid to early 20s, late teens. It attracts young men to them, and you shouldn't promote stuff like gambling because it's going to get them addicted young. And I totally agreed with the comment, right? And these gambling companies, they know that. I bet they know that. I mean, that's probably why they have, I mean, it's kind of ingenious, you know. How can we get them started young? Let's go where all the young people going, fitness content, right? That makes perfect sense to me from a business perspective, why they would go that route. But yeah, I don't know. I've never had the gambling has never been a thrill for me. Probably because I don't like blowing money stupidly. But some people, I do know some people that really, oh man, I know somebody who got like deep, like 50K deep, which is probably not that big, not that deep compared to some other people, but it was enough that he probably only made like 75 a year, and he got like, you know, 80,000 a year, and he got in 50K deep from gambling. He was I had a story where he said he was he had a small business, and rather than use the money, you know, you get a down payment, rather than use the money to do the job, he was taking it to the casino, and he got busted, and he got into some serious trouble over it, and it's just kind of heartbreaking. He's got you know, 2 kids. I'm not really sure what the if he's married or not. They for all intended purposes they are, you know, 2 kids, a wife, a house, and he's like kind of like on the verge of like losing it all because of his damn gambling addiction. And it's just kind of sad. I mean, I'd hear stories of like, you know, people getting ripped off of money from him. Even this, someone gave him $100 to go, and this sounds so petty, but it just shows the level of addiction. Someone gave him $100 to go get some liquor from the liquor store, and he ended up keeping it and gambling it. Like, we're talking that like level of addiction. So like, no one wants to hang out with him anymore. He might have lost his business. I had heard that. I haven't talked to him in at least a year, because it's just, sometimes I just hear shit and I'm like, man, I gotta get away from these people. So yeah, I guess the moral of this story, young man, I think the gym culture, minus the bullshit drama, is probably one of the best things you could do. I think it's I think going to the gym and lifting weights is probably one of the best things you can do, right? Because man, I've seen the opposite result. I've seen you know, people who fill the time with not such great things, and their lives are a fucking disaster, guys. I mean, I'm not saying mine's is perfect, but comparatively speaking, some of these people's lives are just a disaster. I mean, you know, couple divorces. Few of them are in club DUI, so they can't drive anymore, which really hurts their financial capabilities. That's another thing, guys. I want to say this. In fact, I think this might be like my two pieces of advice for anyone young out there. Join a gym, and find a gym that has a good community, people you can just meet with, right? I think that's like, I know a lot of the people in my gym, we don't like hang out, we talk, we say hi, stuff of that nature. The second thing, I think this is like, I didn't realize how much of an issue this was until I got in charge for a year of hiring, which is something I did not enjoy doing. I did not enjoy being in charge of hiring, but how many people have lost their driver's license? Okay, it's not that they didn't get them; they lost them. Some of them are from DUIs. Another one that, like, I never heard this talk about, but it happened to probably, I could say enough people where it's not a surprise anymore. Driving without insurance. They would drive without insurance. They'd get in trouble for it because they get caught up, and they get their license suspended, and then they would continue to drive on a suspended license with no insurance, get caught again, and they would get their license revoked, right? And that have, like I said, I know more DUIs than that, but I know a lot of people who did that too. And it just kind of blows my mind a little bit that that's the state that that's how we're at. So my two pieces of advice, guys, is join a gym and really protect your privilege to drive, especially in America. America is not set up for public transportation. I mean, we got it, but we're not. Our culture is based upon the need to drive. Okay, it is. Now we have Uber, like, so you can get around it a lot easier. But if you have any sort of job where they want to give you a company vehicle to do stuff, you suddenly can't do that because you don't have a valid driver's license, right? I've known people that they couldn't get a position they wanted because they didn't have the license, and they will require to drive a company vehicle, which you can't do if your license is revoked. So I would protect that privilege. Like I said, I know you got Uber, so getting around these days is not as it's easier. I mean, but I come from the era before Uber, so I remember when people got their license yanked, it was a big deal. It was a really big deal. Of course, I actually know people in the opposite boat. They have their license and stuff, but they choose not to drive because insurance and vehicle maintenance is so expensive. I mean, if you're one of those, that's cool, but don't become like that because you got your license yanked out of your life. It's at least in America. I know, like I said, I know in some European countries, it's a lot more easier to get around, but not here. Like, if I couldn't drive and Uber wasn't around, I don't know how I would get to work. It would be a difficult. It'd probably be like catch one bus and then catch another bus. It would be, and I don't live that far. It's too far to walk, but it ain't like, but it would take some logistical challenges. So it's kind of what I got for you guys today. Just that's where my thoughts are at. Almost there now. I'm coming up to the last stoplight before I get to the office. But yeah, stay away from those addictions. Join a gym and protect your license. That's some good life advice. It sounds simple, but you'd be surprised how many people don't Don't do that. Hell, like just drop the gym. Like let's not even add the gym. Just not being an addict and keeping your license, like, you know, keeping your license. I'm telling you, you're gonna find a lot of your peers in the years coming. If you like just hit 21, they're gonna lose their license. They are gonna lose it, and it's always a pain. It's always a pain, right? It's always a pain. So, hell, my brother lost his license for what, 6 months, a year, and he wasn't even drunk. He's just driving around like an asshole. I swear, like speeding, flipping people, like he pissed somebody off one day, and they like tried to ram him off the road, and the cops had to come. I'm like, dude, man, I've never like, so it's, you could lose your license on some dumb shit that you didn't even like, didn't even consider that was like going to be a punishment. Like so don't take it for granted. Don't think that it's like, you know, on like once you have it, it can't be taken away, because it can, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. All right, guys, I just pulled in. So that's gonna be the end of the vlog for the day, and I will see you guys on the next video.